Hello, beautiful ladies. I am Terry Ann Porter, and this is Mindset Monday. Over the last 2 weeks, we walked through the word ask, naming what we need, and the word seek, taking one intentional step toward it. If you weren't here for those, check back into the previous recordings and you'll find them. Today, we're going to move into the next part of this journey. After we ask and we seek, the next word is find. Let me share with you a find moment recently that really surprised me. I was driving to a place that I'd been to only one time. And let me tell you, I am directionally challenged. I get lost going across the street. If there's a wrong turn available, I'll find it. And if there are three wrong turns available, I will find all three. I had my GPS on, but somehow I kept misreading it. I drove past the location once, then twice, then a third time. Now, normally, this is where my anxiety would take over. My shoulders would tighten. My hands would clamp on the steering wheel. My heart would race. I'd be near tears, convinced that I will never, ever find my way and get there. But this time, something was different. After the third wrong turn, I suddenly realized that I wasn't panicking. I wasn't spiraling. I wasn't white knuckling the wheel. And I wasn't beating myself up for getting lost again. Instead, I calmly pulled over and reviewed the directions, thinking, okay, what did I miss? And at that moment, I suddenly realized I had not asked for less anxiety. I had not sought a calmer reaction. I hadn't even been thinking about my stress levels. But somewhere along the way, in the asking, in the seeking, and in the growing, I found something here that I didn't even know I was looking for. In this moment, I realized I had found some peace. Not the dramatic choir singing, angels descending kind of peace, just a quiet steadiness, a groundedness, a you're okay, keep going kind of peace. By the time I finally arrived at my destination, I was not frazzled or flustered. I walked in calm, centered, and ready, not because the drive was easy, but because I had changed. And that is the heart of find. Finding isn't always what we expect. Sometimes we think finding means the big answer, the perfect solution, the dramatic breakthrough. But oftentimes, finding looks like realizing that you're not as anxious as you used to be, noticing that you handled something with more grace than you have in the past, maybe feeling peace where there used to be chaos. Finding is often subtle, it's often slow, and it's often something that you only recognize when you pause long enough to look back. It's in that moment when you realize, wow, something in me has changed. When we ask honestly and seek intentionally, we often find things we weren't even looking for. We ask for clarity and we find courage. We ask for direction and we find patience. We ask for peace and find boundaries. We ask for help. We find community. Sometimes we ask for answers and we find growth. You know, sometimes the thing that we find is not the thing that we were seeking, but is the thing that we needed. This week, I want to encourage you to pause long enough to notice what you've already found. Write down three things that have shifted, grown, softened, strengthened, or become clearer since you began this journey? Name three things that you've discovered in yourself, in your life, in your spirit. They don't have to be big, they just have to be real. Because finding is not just about the destination, it's about recognizing what has been unfolding along the way. Awareness is powerful. What you find becomes the foundation of what comes next. And next week, we'll explore how to take that foundation and turn it into one bold, intentional step forward. Subscribe so that you don't miss next week's Mindset Monday. I am Terry Ann Porter, reminding you to keep living intentionally, beautifully, and boldly.